Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Grumpus on Fire. This is Grumpus here. Today we're going to do a pork loin. We're going to roll it up with some peaches, jalapeno, and some rosemary. Stick around. This is going to be a good one. Alright, so we're going to peel our peaches. We put them in a little boiling water for about 30 seconds or so to kind of loosen the skins up. And then we plunged them in ice water, and that's making them peel pretty easy. So we're going to peel them all up, cut them up into smaller pieces, and we're going to cook them down a little bit. We'll do that in just a second. Let me finish peeling these. Alright, so we're going to cut these down into smaller pieces so they'll cook down a little quicker. Alright, we're going to cut up one jalapeno, fresh out of the garden. Going to remove the seeds. And we're going to chop this up just as fine as we can get it. Smells like it might be a hot one. I guess we'll find out. We want this really fine. That looks pretty fine to me. We'll add that to our peaches. I'm going to add the juice of one lemon. Try to catch the seeds if you can. And we're going to add just a little bit of rosemary. Not a lot, a little goes a long way. And chop it up very fine. Now we'll put this on the stove. Alright, we're going to put this on about a medium heat. We've got our peaches, diced jalapeno, and we've got a little rosemary in there, and some juice of 1 lime, or lemon, excuse me. To that we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar. We're going to add just a little splash of apple cider vinegar, kind of brighten things up a little bit. We're going to cook this down till everything's tender, and then we'll take it to the next step. We're going to add a little sprig of rosemary in there, just to help infuse this a little bit, and then we'll fish that out later. So the reason we didn't put a whole lot of sugar in this initially, because I knew I'd be adding a whole jar of peach preserves into it. That'll be all the sweet we need. Basically what we just mixed up with the fresh peaches was to put some fresh chunks in there, kind of enhance the jam or the preserves that we're using. Let's give this a taste. Yep, that's just about where we want it. So we'll bring this up to a little higher heat, bring it up to a low boil, make sure we've got as much moisture out of it as we can. So we just want to make sure everything's incorporated. In case you didn't see me a minute ago, I went ahead and fished that rosemary out of it. It's done its job. So we'll bring this up to a boil. We're going to the next step. Alright, I think we're about there. That's about the consistency you want. We want some chunks in there. Everything's cooked down real good. I tasted it just about right. So we're going to pull this off the fire, set it aside, let it cool off a little bit, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. It'll thicken up, and that'll make a really nice spread for our pork. Alright, so what we've got here is about an 8-pound pork loin. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of fat on it, so we're not going to do any trimming. But we are going to try to cut this, fillet it out, and lay it flat. So, right here on this side here, I'm going to try to work out of my shadow if I can. Hope you can see this. We're going to start right over here. Have you a good sharp knife. Let's just run, maybe 1/2 inch deep. See if we can get our finger in there, kind of lay that out a little bit. This is an extra long loin, so it's having a hard time getting it fit on the counter to where I can let you guys see. But we're just going to take this a little at a time. Don't rush it, because you sure don't want to cut through it. And we're going to continue. We're going to look down the edge and make sure we're not coming through too far. About 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch at a time. Then we're going to turn this up a little bit so that we're always cutting down and it's thick underneath it. We may have to trim, we may have to angle it just a little bit, but the goal is to get this as thin as we can, and so when we roll it out, we've got as much surface as we can to rub our filling. Just keep pulling it. I hope you can see this. I know I'm working in my shadow. Keep pulling it back. It's okay if your cut's not pretty. You know, this is going to show. The main thing is to get it rolled out without cutting through. we could get two rolls out of it, that'd be great. I don't know if this loin was long, but it wasn't very thick. I think you're all getting the picture, right? The key is having a sharp knife. So I got a little thin right there. What I'm doing is holding my finger right here on the point, keep me from going too deep. Although a sharp knife is what you need, it will overcut real easy if you're not careful. There we go. Let's see how we did. Some places we may be a little thick, so I'm going to choke up about 1/8 of an inch. Run down some of these thick spots. That'll let a lot of our filling fill in. Try to get it as even as you can. Stretch that out like that. One little thick spot here. That's it. So I poked a hole in that one. It's not the end of the world. We just might have a little leakage right there. There we go. Alright, let me go get my rub. I'll be right back. Alright, so today we're going to try some Kosmo's Sweet Honey Pecan. I think the pecan will go nice with our peach filling. I don't want to put a lot of that on there because I don't want to overpower the peach. Smells pretty good. This is the first time I've used it, so a little bit like that. Now let me go get my filling. Alright, remember yesterday we made our peach fillings. It's set up really nice. That's what we wanted. Some big chunks in there. What we're going to do now, we're going to reserve just a little bit of this for our rub later, or when we glaze it. Let's just put some of this on here. You're going to be stingy because a lot of it's going to ooze out. That meat gets warm and tightens up. It's going to try to push some of it out the ends. All right. So we're going to save, maybe about that much, and we'll glaze up the outside later. Let's just smear this around. Get as even as you can. Don't get too close to the edge. Ready to just run out when we tie it. Now remember, now we're going to roll it from this side and roll it over so we can come to the edge on this one. I'm going to try to keep this edge clean because it's going to be our final seal. Just want to make sure when we slice this, everybody gets a good bite with the filling. Remember, this is our peaches, peaches, jalapeno, little lemon juice, a little vinegar, a little sugar, and a little bit of rosemary. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. All right, let's roll it up. All right, we're gonna need some butcher's twine. So we'll just have to guess on that, on how much we're gonna need. That's probably a little more than I need, but I'll hate it when I run out. Alright, let's start rolling. Now we want to roll this loose. If you roll it too tight, everything's going to ooze out. So we'll just kind of fold it up. It would have been easier if I'd have cut this in half, but it wouldn't look as cool on YouTube, so we're doing it this way. There you go. So let's get our twine started. A little knot. See if I can roll this over a little bit better. So I'm going to start on the end, work my way to the center, and then I'll start on the other end and work my way to the center, so maybe we can keep from squeezing this filling out. I know it's hard to make it pretty, but it's a wrestling match. So what I generally do is I've got a slip knot on the end for starters. I run up underneath it, pull it through, and I want to run this loosely about every couple of inches. See there? So we'll run that through again. Come up under. Hope you can see this. I know I'm working in my shadow, but I don't have that good a light in the kitchen. I'm going to run this all the way down the middle. I'm going to cut another piece of twine, start on this end, work my way this way. Let me finish this and then we'll pick up when we're about done. when we get to the end of the line, just put a couple square knots in it and call it a job. See what I mean about running short? So we did put a square knot in this. And we'll put a couple more little pieces. We probably don't need a slip knot on that one. I don't want it too tight in the middle. So we'll just run this under it and just tie it straight. I might have enough for one more. Again, let's just not get this too tight. There we are. Can you see that? Trim up this end just a little bit. Trim this end just a little bit. Kind of even it all out. And there we go. Alright, let me go get the fire started, get this on the pit. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to put some rub on the outside of this too. Same thing, sweet honey pecan, Kosmos. Not going to put a lot, we just want a little bit of crust. Gently roll this over so we don't lose all that filling. Every time we touch it, we run the risk of it squirting out. Run a little on this side. Alright, now we're going to put this on the pit. We're going to put the cut side up. Meet you outside. Alright, looks like the pit's settled down to temp. It's been requested by a couple of people that I also include the temperatures of the vertical, even if I'm not using it. I guess a lot of people are contemplating the vertical versus the horizontal. So we're trying to remember to put those temps in there, and that way you can see the spread. But for right now, we're running a little warm, but I'm under a time frame on this pork loin, so looks like we're about 300 here on about 310 here. Top middle where we're going to put our meat is right at 275. Over here on the verticals, just for reference, bottom temp is about 260, and the top is right at 260. Alright, it's been about an hour. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to spritz it with a little apple cider vinegar and apple juice. About 1/3 vinegar, 2/3 apple juice. We'll let this go about another half hour or so. I'm going to check it again. We may need to flip it end to end to even the cook a little bit. Right now the center is measuring about 108. Alright guys, let's see. It's been about 45 minutes since we checked this. That is looking pretty good. Giving it the quick spritz. Right now I'm looking at internal temperatures. The left of the roast is 140, right of the roast 145, and the center is showing 133. So I think we're going to close this up. I'll go get my glaze and we'll start glazing this thing. Be back. Alright y'all, we're at a center temperature of 136. I think it's time to put a little glaze on this. I took that little bit of filling we had left over and warmed it up on the stove. I'll spoon a little bit of that on top of it. Yep, that's looking pretty good. All right. I hope y'all can hear me all right. I've got a new lav mic I'm trying out today. My past videos have been kind of, audio's not been that great, but hopefully this is an improvement. Y'all let me know in the comments down below if it sounds loud, muffled, whatever, and we'll try to adjust it on my shirt until we figure out exactly what it needs to be. Alright, we're going to give that about another, maybe another 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and check it. Alright y'all, I'm going to call this. I'm showing an internal temperature in the center of 144. So anything around 145, I'm calling done. So the ends, of course, are going to be a little bit hotter. Boy, don't that look good. Okay, the trick's going to be getting this off of here and back into the kitchen. So my plan is to try to set it down on this parchment paper and then cradle it. Let's see what we can do here. Make sure we're not stuck. Alright, so far so good. Let's see if we can get it in the house. Alright, well, we've been resting about 15 minutes. Let's see how things do. I don't know how it's going to taste, but it definitely looks pretty. Now let's cut into that dude and see how it looks. Had to put it on top of these cookie sheets because I didn't have a pan big enough. Let's see, let's come right in about here, right off center. See how we look. Trying not to tear it apart. Oh yeah, look at that. Can you see that? Let me look at the camera. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Let's try one more small piece. Now you want to cut these, well, it sure is juicy. You don't want to cut these too thin or they'll just fall apart. Let's cut between these. There you go. Can you see that? I'm gonna have to try a little piece of this. It's juicy, and it's not just all the filling too. The meat's pretty juicy. I don't know if it's showing up on camera or not, but it's done all the way through. Let me see how we look. There we go. Kind of falling apart a little bit, but that's just because of the kind of filling we put in it. If it had been like a bread dressing or something like that, it might hold together a little bit better. Guess I need to make sure I get that string off. That's going to be a little chewy. Let's try that. Yes, sir. I think it needs to rest just a little bit longer so all the juices don't run out, but I can taste the peaches. Just a hint jalapeno. Of course, the rosemary's there. Yep, that's pretty nice. All right, well, I would say that's that worked. Hey, what do you know? We beat the rain. I'm very pleased how the pork turned out. Even with all the stuff we put on it, it still tasted like pork, which is the end goal. Hey, if you like what we've done today, hit that like button. If you like what we're doing in general, why not subscribe? We'd sure appreciate that. So hit the little bell icon. That'll notify you whenever I put a new video up. My plan is to put one up every 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate, but we do what we can. But anyway, you'd be notified when the new stuff goes up. So thanks for tuning in to Grumpus on Fire. This is Grumpus. We'll see you next time.